Television as entertainment for children is based on what you think should be entertainment. A child doesn't need television 100% of the time. Am I saying that they should never watch TV? No. But let me tell you what has worked for me. I feel like now that I've got my second child and my first one is 7, that I have some experience that has helped me in the early years of children. I think that as adults, because we think that television is engaging, because there are so many colourful and really good educational TV programs, we make that the sole engagement that we give our small children, and we have to be very mindful of that. I think that I'm not against television, I'm not against screen time, but because it can be addictive for small children, it's very important to be mindful of how much we expose them to television and how much TV they're watching. So I say all of this to say there's other options. It's very easy to entertain a child, but you are the one that sets the precedent. So for example, if you set the fact that, okay, we're going to watch TV every single day, that's how a child gets used to television. A lot of these people behind the programs, as someone that works in TV, they do a lot of research, scientific research, to see what engages children, and the colours, the activities that they do. All of these things are to essentially get the child addicted and make them want to keep watching. And a lot of the times you might say that, oh, my daughter or my son cannot do without watching Cocomelon. There is a reason for that. That's the purpose. They want you to keep coming back and watching. And I learned that when I was, I did a lot of reading when I had Fermi, a lot of reading. That's why I was very strict with the screen time. She did watch TV, but it was probably about, she started watching TV properly when she was about 1, because I learned that before one, children don't really get that much. Yes, they might learn a few things here and there, but they learn a lot more from interaction with their parents, interaction with their siblings, than they do from actual television. Television is a very small amount of what they are learning from. You might say, oh, my child is learning so well. Yes, but I'm just telling you that they can learn a lot quicker and a lot more from you just having conversations with them whilst you're getting them ready for nursery, whilst you're, whatever, talking about what you're doing. Oh, we're going to have a bath now, we're having your bath, this is bath time, this is so fun, this is whatever, speaking your native language, whatever it is, in everyday things, they find a lot of fun. And I just want to say that, so also reading is something that I love doing, and I find that if you're not really into reading as an adult, it might be something hard to pass on to your children, because you just feel like that's not the first thing that you think about. So I guess for me it was easy because I love reading, and therefore I was able to pass it on to Fermi, who now loves reading. Whenever she's bored, the thing that she turns to is reading a book. If we're going for long trips, she didn't have an iPad or a tablet for a long time, so it was always books from a very young age. And that's the same thing that I'm doing for Fife as well, because for me is that I want you to be able to do without it. Not that you won't have it, because yes, she did have a tablet, it's broken and right now she'll get a new one, but it's something that you need to not be addicted to. So I'm a fan of my child not being reliant on digital things, because obviously that's how I grew up always reading books, and obviously being a 90s baby, that's what, growing up in the 90s rather, that was what we'd had to deal with. And just because but it's also finding a balance. I want my children to be digitally savvy, but not at the detriment or at the fact that they are heavily reliant on it, which happens a lot of the time. So I'm just trying to encourage everybody to be like, there are other alternatives. And I'm going to say reading. Start with reading every day. I read to Fermi every single day from when she was almost when she was born. I read to her every day. You might think that it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to insert a clip of me reading to Fife. She's not even keeping still. They don't need to keep still. They can be doing what they're doing. 4 p.m, ride my bike and kick my ball. Yeah, she's riding her bicycle. Yeah. Yep. Ball. And she's using the swing. Yep. So 4 p.m, ride my bike, kick my ball, and use the swing. But just read to them every day. And it's short books. There are loads of books that, and when they're small like this, it's good to read books that are like board books kind of thing. So they're not easily for them to rip. So babies, they like to slam books, they like to feel it, they like to touch. So tactile books that have like flaps, those are the kind of books. I might show some examples in the corner of the type of books that you should get and you should look out for that are really helpful. I give Fife a book whilst I'm bathing, I'm having my bath, and she can be focused on that book for at least a good 5-10 minutes. That is what I've learned. Reading over television any day. But again, I've started introducing television to her little by little, and for the most part she wasn't interested. And also I feel like the later you introduce television, the more picky they are about what they watch. And so I showed her a couple of things, she wasn't interested. I showed her Miss Rachel, she was loving her. So I think there is that as well. But again, she doesn't look to it because it's not something that she does all the time. Even Fermi at this age, she watches television only on Friday, Saturday, hardly on Sundays because we're in church and we're normally out and about. But yeah, she barely watches television. Does she love TV? Yes, she does. She still loves TV. She still likes to watch different programs, but she's not reliant on it. And that's why I'm making this video. I want us to get to a point where we understand that there are other things. It is a challenge. I promise you, I know, I promise you, I do understand that it's a challenge. And I might make it sound easy, but it is definitely possible. If you don't want your children to be reliant on television, if you don't want them to get addicted to television, you need to curb the amount of TV they're watching. But you have to start from when they're very little. Be mindful. It's easy for us to be like, let's just sit them in front of the television so I can get on with my work, get on with what I'm doing. But honestly, to what end? Because the first 3 years of a child's life is very crucial, and once they become addicted to television, it becomes very hard to wean them off. So I just want you to bookmark this, send it to people that you feel like this will help, because it's so important for us to parent differently, because we know better, therefore we should do better. So yeah, that's my tip. That's what I've learned in motherhood. I have some more. Let me know if you want to hear more of what I've learned and if you found this helpful. And yeah, I look forward to making more and sharing more. See you guys in my next video. Bye.